All right, let's get it in. Let's get it in right now. E King Fight New Super 8 welterweight tournament. Again, it is a shame this is yet a fantasy matchup uh, between promotional outfits. Basically, right now in the welterweight division, I think we can agree these are pretty much the top 8 welterweights. Kell Brook is out there, and we're gonna see what he can do against Sean Porter. But right now, these are the top 8. These are the creme de la creme in the welterweight division. So let's get it in. I love the concept of a Super 8 tournament. Shout out to 78 Sports TV. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation for putting it out there. But I gotta switch it up a bit. We already been through that bracket already where we had Floyd versus who did he face? Danny Garcia. You know what? I'm taking Danny Garcia off a list. He's not even a welterweight to me. He's still a junior welterweight. So I'm gonna take him off the list. I don't even care if Floyd ends up fighting him in September. He's not a welterweight to me. We're talking about the best welterweights in the division, so I'm gonna throw Amir Khan in there. Amir Khan, he gets to be number 8. You know, I think the win over Luis Collazo, put him up there in the top 10 status. So let's give him that nod. We'll put him at number 8. And you know what? I got Amir Khan. This is my first bracket right here. It's my first fight, and I haven't really got the brackets all figured out, but we're gonna do it on the fly. So let's get it in, guys. All right, first fight I got to break down. Sean Porter. He's gonna be pitted against Tim Bradley in an epic fight. This is a fight for a championship, and it's for the two guys that convincingly beat Devin Alexander. Um, these are two solid fighters. Both of them can fight on the inside, both of them can fight on the outside. It's really a dream matchup for me. And personally, I think Tim Bradley at this point in his career, and we're gonna assume it's right now. I think he needs a comeback fight. I think Sean Porter would be a big step up for him. And I understand he was up against Manny Pacquiao, so maybe Sean Porter you consider it to be a step down, but Sean Porter is actually a much bigger welterweight. He's got a very thick frame and he's got that punching power. And Tim Bradley hasn't we haven't seen him fight on the inside like a dog ever since really the Devin Alexander fight. I haven't really seen that dog in Tim Bradley in a real long time, and I think Sean Porter might be all wrong for him. I understand those two had sparring sessions in preparation for the Devin Alexander fight, so that would definitely be interesting to note. But I think Sean Porter would be able to um, just outmuscle Tim Bradley. He's a smaller welterweight, and I think the skill gap isn't that wide. And although Bradley might be able to box from the outside, I think he get caught up into a firefight and he get beat, similar to the way he couldn't deal with Vodnikov in a firefight. I think Sean Porter is a much more technical inside fighter, and I think he'd get the best of Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley, again, one of my favorite fighters, but I think Sean Porter is just it's his time right now, and you're gonna find out why against Kell Brooks. So I have Sean Porter advancing against Tim Bradley. He probably wins by decision. Uh, next fight, next fight is Keith one-time Thurman versus Juan Manuel Marquez. That's an excellent bout. I personally believe that Juan Manuel Marquez is sort of at the tail end of his career. Picking he's really picking the right guys that he knows he can beat, and he's also trying to win a fifth world title. This would be a chance to win an interim title for him, so it makes all the sense in the world boxing wise. It's just promotion. The promotional companies always get in the way of great fights. So to me, this would be a great fight. It would be the counter puncher versus the up and coming young boxer, and I personally think Keith Thurman wins a decision. I think the youth and activity would make a huge difference, and I think Tim Bradley really showed you the blueprint on how to beat Marquez. So once there's a blueprint out on a fighter, I think that's enough for a young fighter to emulate that blueprint and just win the fight convincingly. And we know Keith Thurman does have the boxing ability to hang in there with a lot of guys, and he's a much bigger guy than Juan Manuel Marquez, and he probably gained his respect early with that punching power. So next fight, Amir Khan pitted against Manny Pacquiao. That's an excellent fight. I would like to see that fight regardless. There's even been talks about this fight happening, but we all know it's on the back burner, so to speak. I'm not sure if this is actual real possibility. Amir Khan has been in Bob Arum's mouth. He's mentioned before, but in terms of the fight, Amir Khan gets his ass knocked out. He can't handle Manny Pacquiao's power. I see him getting hit with a straight left hand and being knocked the fuck out. So Amir Khan, he's out of the picture. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think he would do a lot better against the Juan Manuel Marquez, to be honest. But Amir Khan would get knocked the fuck out against Manny Pacquiao. So that's it for that one. And let's go on to I gave Floyd an easy fight. I gave him an easy fight. I gave him Marcos Maidana. I gave Marcos Maidana. He just got in the ring with Marcos Maidana, and everyone wants to call for a rematch. So there you go. I gave you a rematch. Floyd boxes circles around Marcos Maidana. Maidana might be able to create what happened in the first fight. He might be able to land that overhand right a few times, but I think Mayweather's pretty much gonna break down that footage and just break down Marcos Maidana's style and pick him apart. I see him doing that. He's done that throughout his career. It's hard to believe that that wouldn't happen in a rematch. So that's how I see it. I think Floyd boxes circles around him and wins a 12-round decision. I think that's an easy fight for Floyd. So moving on. Moving on. The top four that advance: Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Floyd Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao.